Starting out, I would say, as a senior in high school, I knew at that point that I wanted to parent in some form through fostering and adoption. God laid that on my heart. Cameron and I really didn't talk about outside of fostering and adopting. After a little while, it had been on my heart, and so I brought it up to Cameron, and he had been having those same thoughts that we just needed to have this discussion. And so after those couple of weeks of really seeking and praying and trying to decide, what God wanted for us, we both felt that it was for us to have a child ourselves too. It wasn't until August of 2019 that we did get pregnant. Not long after, I started to have some complications, and we did lose that baby. We lost our baby, just only knowing a couple of weeks that we were pregnant. And so after you go a year and a half of waiting for that, and you're so sure that this is something God has led you to, a lot of doubt starts to creep in. I started comparing myself, and I would see other people, and I would think, God, why would you bless someone else with this, but not us? Why would you take it away from us? And you see so many women who get pregnant who don't want their babies, and they decide not to have their babies. But you still have to remember, God isn't picking on us. The hard things come. He is there to walk through them with us. Then you just kind of fast forward to the spring of 2020, when everything started to shut down and quarantines had started. That opened up our schedules a lot, and it opened up the opportunity for us to start the process of fostering. And in the process of going through that to become foster parents, we found out that we were pregnant again. I remember sitting out on my front porch. It was Mother's Day of 2020, and I'd started to have some of the same complications again. And I just remember crying and praying because I was so sure that it was going to happen again, that I would miscarry again and I would lose this baby too. And I remember sitting in a Sunday gathering at NCC, and the worship team was singing Graves into Gardens. And I remember, we had sang it numerous times throughout that year. I'd heard it plenty of times. And as I was singing along with the worship team, I had a moment that hit so differently that it was just like I heard God over my life say, I took your grave and I made it into a garden. And so the realization of a literal, where there had been death already inside of me, He had put new life, and He had blessed us with that. He literally took what was my grave and He made it into a garden. And that was just such a powerful moment. And I knew that He had spoken that over me and, lifted that fear, because He made it so clear, this is new life and I have done this. After we had Ruby Quinn in January, it was something that He brought to my mind daily. Like, I just thought about that moment every single day of Him speaking to me in that worship gathering during that song. And I knew that it was something that I needed to share and to just ask, do you believe that God is going to turn your grave into a garden, whatever it is? It might not be that kind of literal thing like it was for me, but do you believe that He can do that for you? Do you pray like you believe that He can do that for you? Do you worship like you believe it? He is waiting to turn your grave into a garden. He wants to do it. He needs for us to be obedient. As we're faithful to Him, He's going to be faithful to us, and He's going to fulfill everything that He has in store for us. So.
When you turn graves into gardens, when you turn bones into armies, when you turn seas into highways, you're the